Tribune. We're getting ready to do the moving of the historical mansion, the Lilly Mansion in the village of Spring Lake. Police are lined up in the roads. The road has been blocked. There's a pretty good sized crowd here. I think they're ready to roll. They said this is going to be a walking stroll. Okay, they have started to move. People are excited about this. The house is moving. Deets movers, moving the truck. Ottawa County Sheriff escorting. The house moved up to the curb. There's a lot of people here. Pretty well packed on both sides of the road. They pulled up to the curb and they stopped.
Wait, look at this.
All right. The house is starting to move again. Here it comes, the Lilly Mansion from the 1870s. Built in the 1870s, making its way on to Savage Street, which is M104 in the village of Spring Lake. Very carefully moving. They're just going a short distance through downtown by the fuel bar, that's Division Street, where they will turn down and go one block to its location across the street from Tanglefoot Park. That was the trailer park, the campers. They're not there this year because there was a lot of road construction, infrastructure work, and there's also a master plan thought to change it into a different type of park. So here we The guys are under there. They're piling boards, getting ready to move again. As you can see, there's a pretty good crowd out here. And moving a house, especially a house this size. I've seen quite a few houses moved over the years, but I've never seen one this large moved. There's a lot to it. The last house I saw move was from over by Spring Lake High School, and they moved it out onto State Road in Unica a couple years ago. This one's a lot bigger project. Everything has to be just absolutely perfect.
I mean, obviously from here down, solid. It's all gonna move with us.
So the form I had to fill out to get you out here, we totally just guessed on the number of people. Like, we underestimated. That's fine. No, that's more like...
Looks like they're going to move again.
We don't really care how many people are going to see it. I don't know what my boss does with that.
Little measuring going on. Got the different crews here to move cables, wires.
Any idea what the detour's like right now, or how that's working?
Everybody's here.
I mean, well, that's
Moving again.
Everybody's here. Everybody's trying to get here in the last half an hour.
I was probably really busy at 7, but...
Halting again. This is what this move is going to be like. It's going to be moving, stopping, Probably go just a little bit faster once they get out here on Savage Street. Pretty big project here for Dietz Movers. They've done a lot of different things. I've seen them move a lot of different types of houses, lift houses. This one's a big one. This is going to become a bed and breakfast on the corner of Exchange and Division.
Yeah, we were walking
I was
down.
going to say they actually probably could start
We did tell everybody.
The area it's moving from.
Yeah, no,
Now the Lilly house was built with the Sisson house. The Sisson house is right here behind me. It was orange, they just painted it white. Both of these houses were built by lumbering business partners back in the 1870s. Here comes. See, if you look, there's somebody underneath the house. You see that? The camera guy keeps going right in front of me. There's somebody right underneath the house adjusting wires, cables. You see how the tires look a little cockeyed as they get ready to turn. Then there's a pretty good crowd of people here. I'm sure they're all lined up. Yep, they're all lined up down the street. I'll turn around and show you. Looks like they might be ready to move again here. I can turn around and show you the crowd down the street in just a second. Now they've got the road M104 here between Lake Avenue, which is where the Rite Aid is. That's where they're detouring people down to Exchange Street, pretty much down probably to School Street, I think. So a big detour, a little tough on the big semis trying to make these sharp corners. Got the sun behind me. I'll try to show you all the people around here. If you can see it, we've got power crews down the road working on the lines. And there's a lot of people lined all the way down the road. Again, all the traffic's being detoured down onto Exchange Street.
Yeah, no.
Attention pedestrians, we can move to the sidewalk, we appreciate it.
Probably heard Ottawa County Sheriff's deputies asking people to move off. People are lined up all the way through downtown. There's a big crowd in the street down there waiting to see what's going on. I hear movement behind me. We are moving again. And we stopped again. They're getting there. Little by little. They are getting a lot closer to being straight on the road here. Again, you've got workers underneath the house adjusting cables. Not a place I'd want to be. This is, the Lilly house was built, I believe, in the 1870s. It was the business partner of the Sisson house. All right, here's some of our hood friends.
Coming up?
Oh yeah. Yeah. In the Spring Lake, we just organized some indie hours and that. Did you? Okay.
Like a little excitement here in the village of Spring Lake. This huge historical mansion being moved downtown, short distance, maybe less than a mile, to it, spotted across from Tanglefoot Park, where it will have a view of the river and it will become a bed and breakfast. M104 is closed for several blocks. In this area, you can see St. Mary's Church is in the background. Harvest Bible Church is behind me there, where when I drove through here earlier, there were a lot of people already parking in the prime parking spots to sit in their cars and watch when this goes by. We got a thumbs up. Yep, Amy, slow TV is right. It's not moving very fast. I think once they get straightened out here and all the way on the road, things will move a little bit faster. Here we go. Moving very, very slow.
Good shot.
Hear the people are a little excited that it's on the road now. The Lilly Mansion is on Savage Street, all the way on. Just a little bit more straightening out and they'll be moving down the road.
Maybe a B&B?
Yeah, a couple guys.
They put it next to Anna's house. Anna's, is it going on that corner?
Oh, Isabel's house.
Isabel's house, yeah.
Feels great with the sun right in his eyes.
The house is going to go downtown Spring Lake. It's moving, should have counted the blocks. If you read Marie Havinga's stories in the Grand Haven Tribune, we're probably going about a mile, maybe a little less, down the street. Then it's going to turn left and go down to the river by Tanglefoot Park, which is a trailer park on Exchange Street, where small campground. It's going across the street from there. 2 small houses were torn down, and this will go on that corner with a view of the river. And there it will be turned into a bed and breakfast. We are on M104, or Savage Street, in the village of Spring Lake. We will be going down to Division Street. Hopefully I got that right. And they will be on the corner of that street and Exchange Street, which is 1 block over from here, overlooking the river. See the work crews over there going back up in the bucket. They'll start reattaching wires. We have crews down the street. You ride bikes? Huh? You guys ride bikes here? My bike's over there somewhere.
We got as far as stance, and that's as far as they let it go. So we pulled in the lot. Walking there.
Tampa, Florida, Newport, Richey, Florida, Mesa, Arizona. We have people watching from all over the U.S. Thanks for posting that, folks.
Some people love to all traffic units in there really understaffed, and now they might take 15 minutes to readjust to the where we walk down Bells.
Not sure exactly what the adjustments are that they're doing, but just to make sure it's properly balanced before they start moving down the road. Imagine they'll try to come more into the center of the road. A bunch of people watching who are originally from here: Duval, Florida, Beaufort, South Carolina. People are originally from Grand Haven and Spring Lake. Comes the main man with his big measuring tape. I think that might be Dan Dietz. It's the big important job for him. Look Okay, someone's watching from Cypress, Texas, formerly from Grand Haven. Hi, Judy Brown Morgan. We are on M104 Savage Street near St. Mary's Church, just west of it. Big old house. There were two great big mansions built by lumber barons back in the 1870s. I'm guessing he's doing some guidelines for the truck driver.
Okay, thank you.
Somebody from Irons, Michigan. Thanks, Katie. Hopefully my battery lasts. Right. Like this house was built in 1876 by Spring Lake lumber baron Francis E. Lilly. It's going to corner of Division and Exchange. A lot of adjustments going on, starting to redo cables. Other direction where the sun is setting. It's going to be hard to see. I can get behind this tree. You can see there's a lot of people lined up waiting for this house to start moving down the street. Consumers Energy crews up ahead of us have been removing wires from across the street. Huge crowd. Crowd has really grown in size as things have been getting going here. The sun is setting. This move, they started right on the dot at 7:30. Started pulling the house into the street. They're still making adjustments. There's a ton of people out here. Yeah. Wonder if we'll have more people than watch the Coast Guard Festival parade. Wouldn't that be something? They are lined up all the way down the street here. And I can see way back in the distance, bucket truck from Consumers. People are out here parking them quite a while ago. This is what we're waiting for. As soon as they get their adjustments made, then they'll be coming down the street. Hopefully soon. Been a little bit of a wait here. They started at 7:30, pulled the house up to the curb, made a bunch of adjustments, and very, very, very slowly came out onto the street. Here we go. Hang on, folks. It's moving. Just a little. They're moving it more into the center of the street. I'll try to hold real still so you can see that. Well, they might have stopped again. No. If you were standing here, you can see that the street is rounded so that water can drain off it. So it rounds up into the middle. So they have to get this house in the middle of the street so it's properly balanced. Someone's asking how long this is supposed to take. They've scheduled the road to be closed for 3 hours. They were saying 7:30 to about 10:30. You know, if all goes really well, they could get the house right onto the property, but more than likely it's going to sit in the street, and they'll get it the rest of the way onto the property sometime tomorrow. Yesterday they started trimming trees along the street. You know, there's some big branches that went down. Only one tree that they said was dying anyway. Somebody said, looks like a ghost up there in the loft. Kim Van Kampen bought the house, and there's some people from, I believe, Florida that are going to be buying it and taking it over, making a bed and breakfast of it, overlooking the Grand River. So we got to go down a ways down the street. They're still trying to get in the middle of the street with this house and get it properly balanced so they can start moving. Lots of people out here. What you can't see from back here unless I zoom in, there's guys under the house constantly. A place I would not want to be. Mrs. Moynihan, art teacher from Spring Lake, making her presence known. A lot of people out here, like I said, waiting patiently for this house to start moving down the street. Guys underneath are constantly doing adjustments to balance this out. House was built by lumber baron Francis Lilly. Next door is the Sisson House. The Sisson House was remodeled by Bulldog Property Management, and it's for sale for somewhere in the $800,000 range. It's a beautiful house. I toured inside that. So that was another old Victorian mansion built around in the 1870s, around the same time as this one. They were partners in the lumber business. That house has been remodeled and is for sale, and it's staying on site. This house is going to become a bed and breakfast, and at some point we'll start moving down the road. That was my boyfriend's, and yes, we lumber. Thanks.
That's great.
All right, we're gonna, since nothing's going on right now, they're still adjusting, I'm gonna turn you around a little bit, walk you down the street here so you can see how many people are out here. M104 is closed from Lake Avenue, which is where Rite Aid is, and the Front Porch Ice Cream, all the way down to, I believe, School Street, which is down by Mill Point Park. So they're routing you all the way down and around. As you can see, we're by the Harvest Bible Church. Lots of people came out on their bikes. Big crowd of people down here. Somebody watching from Kalamazoo. Tons and tons of people out here today, patiently waiting for this house to start coming down the street. We get some great sunset shots if it gets moving. And way down in the distance, you've got power company, Consumers Energy, taking down wires that go across the street. I'm sure we had other phone companies and cable companies doing the same thing. So it backed up a little ways so I could show you more of the crowd. We have not made much progress other than the houses on the street. They are moving. It is moving right now. The house is moving toward the center of the road. I'm trying to stay real still so you can see that. Somebody's watching from Camden, Tennessee. Mary Hutchinson Belisle used to live in Spring Lake. Hi, Mary. Yeah, Jason, you should be down here. And I think you have plenty of time if you can find a place to park or ride your bike. I do have my still camera. I will take some shots. Marie Havinga is reporting on this. She's out here too, talking to people. I think she talked to the new owners. Right, every time I take a still shot, I bend the, turn the phone down so I miss a shot. They are coming. The house is coming. We are making progress. Right? Every time I say that, they stop. No, look at that tree. Look at that tree. I wonder if they're going to have to do some trimming there. Looks a little tight. Somebody, Jean Mace is watching from Toledo, Ohio. Used to live in Grand Haven. Got a lot of folks watching from all over the place. Yeah, for those of you who just left, the house is actually starting to move. Right now we're by a tree that I wonder if they need to do some more trimming if they're going to get that by that tree. That's way up there. It looks like they're moving very, very slow. See what I'm talking about up here? Well, they know what they're doing, so. Charlotte's going to end up at Division and Exchange, right across the street from Tanglefoot Park, the campground. It'll have a view of the Grand River. Hi, Gary. Okay, it's moving through those trees now. I'm going to try to... Looks like they're making it past that tree. But if anybody wants to watch this video again when I post it, that's going to be one slow watch, but I guess you can fast forward through it. Somebody's asking, what city and state is this in? We are in Spring Lake, Michigan, next to Grand Haven, Michigan, west of Grand Rapids, Michigan. So almost to the lake shore here. This is on your way to these beautiful Grand Haven beaches. Another one? It's hard to tell, but they are moving. There's another tree on the loft that looks like it may be a tight fit. You can see a TV crew interviewing the new homeowners, the guys that are going to be making this into a bed and breakfast.
The sidewalk, off the grass, please.
Like I said, every time I take a still shot, I miss my live feed here. Rhonda Spike said she's very proud of this Cloverville, Michigan business. I'm assuming she's talking about Dietz Movers. They've been moving houses in the west side of the state, probably a lot farther out, for a lot of years around here, through the generations of family. Again, you see there's a lot of people here, and there's a lot more down here waiting for this house to move down the road. We're approaching what used to be known as Christ Community Church a long time ago. Harvest Bible Church now. And I believe the two guys straight in front of me, or a couple of the guys in front of me, I'm not sure which ones, are the new owners of this house. We're watching the progress as the house slowly moves down Savage Street in Spring Lake. It's kind of a fun event for everybody in the community. It's going slow, but it's what else are you going to do on a Tuesday night in Spring Lake? I've been shouting out to Dietz a lot. They do a heck of a job. I've watched them do several moves. Here come the owners.
Live?
I'm live.
Facebook? Or?
Facebook. Are you guys the owners?
Hey guys, how are ya? We're the Patrick. We're the bed and breakfast innkeepers.
Bed and breakfast.
Patrick
Lilly Mansion.
Ragabow, Robert Lopez. Check our Facebook page, Lilly Mansion. Check out our website, thelillymansion.com. LILLEY.
Or Facebook.
Or Facebook, whatever.
Insta.
We cannot believe that house is coming down this road in this town. So
Great town. Great people.
thank you everybody
All
for
right.
the support. We're so appreciative of all the outpouring of support.
Okay, folks, that's your new owners of the Lilly Mansion. This is Grand Haven Tribune.
Hey, Grand Haven Tribune.
So
Hey,
we're
Grand Haven. I hope you're here.
yeah, reporting live, and these are your new owners of the house. They could talk.
One more thing,
on
guys.
that.
We're having a fundraiser tonight at Fuel Bar and Refuge. We're raising money for Art in the Park. We're giving away a private plane ride around Spring Lake. We're giving away a couple of nights at the bed and breakfast. We're giving away dinner, gift certificates.
session.
We're giving away a photographer's portrait sessions. We got a lot of really good stuff to raise money for a really good cause. If you can find time, and for 2 minutes, come out, sign up. It's all really for a good local cause. We'd love to have you out here.
We all need support for the arts.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's going to be at Fuel Restaurant and Refuge down by
the road.
Exchange.
Actually, where
And
it's gonna go.
by the way, it's going to be your best vantage point because that's where the house makes a left onto Exchange, or pardon me, into Division, and it's going to be over the restaurant. So,
Yep.
yeah. All right, guys. See you later. Thank you. Bye,
Thanks
guys.
a lot. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
There they go. These are the guys that are.
LillyMansion.com. Sign up for a free stay at the bed and breakfast.
Yeah, baby.
LillyMansion.com.
There they go, the owners of the Lilly Mansion. They are pretty geeked about this move. And the house continues to approach. We're live here.
On the grass, on the grass, please.
Still coming. And Channel 8 doing his commentation.
Downtown Spring Lake, it's going to be a bed and breakfast expected to open by
Off the grass, please.
We are moving. They're asking people to back off and get off the grass by the road and back off to the sidewalk. They want people back to the sidewalk and behind the sidewalk for safety. This is a big wide house. It's taking up the entire road, so the crews need room to move around it.
Off the grass, use the sidewalk, please.
All right, coming on another tree, but I think they're going to clear it okay. They're watching it clear that tree branch up at the top, and the big tower. Oh, it's tight on the right, on my right. If you look over here, they're brushing up against the trees a little bit there, and they're likely gonna brush up this tree right behind this cop car. You guys gotta help me remember where I left my bicycle after this. It's kind of behind the house moving down the street and to the right. Hopefully it'll still be there when I get back. Moving right along. I'm not sure what the speed is.
On the sidewalk, please. Off the grass. On the sidewalk. Off the grass, please.
Watch out. Here, you run over.
I think I can walk fast enough to get out of the way. All right, here's Spring Lake Township Supervisor John Nash. What do you think of all this, John? You're live.
It's a great night, and I'm sure a lot of people here. This is like the Spring Lake Coast Guard Festival.
There's a lot of people here, and they're lined up deep. A lot of work.
I could tell you that I was happy about the way they trimmed the trees.
Yeah, as you can see,
Trees will never look the same.
they had to do some tree trimming. You can see this one right here by the church.
Look at the one over there, right behind the police car.
Yep. And you can see a lot more tree trimming had to be done. Who pays for this move, John?
A lady with deep pockets, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so that's a
township or the village.
okay. Spring Lake Township Supervisor John Nash is telling us that the move is paid by the owners of the house that's being moved. Is that correct?
That's my understanding.
Right. So the police and everybody else that are out here are.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, there's 12 cruisers here, and it's all overtime. And all the consumers, people, they're all overtime.
All right.
Quite an investment.
It is. Thanks, John. That was Spring Lake Township Supervisor John Nash. We are in Spring Lake Township. He was commenting a little bit about some of the tree trimming. Not terribly happy about it, but that's what's got to be done to get this tree down the road. They were saying they were going to be really mindful and careful about it.
Please, off the grass.
You can see it's brushing up against some trees there, but there's guys right there.
Off the grass, sir. Camera off the grass.
Off the grass into the sidewalk, please.
All right, they are now passing the Harvest Bible Church. You can see where we are. Hi, guys. You're live. Hey, I guess I'm famous a little bit here, too. All right, we're moving a little bit faster. I'm having to keep moving now. Got my little police escort right here. Momentary breather. Making some progress here. A little while ago, you saw the owners of the house talk to you and encourage you to go to the Fuel for a fundraiser for Art in the Park. Art in the Park is something that's also been kind of started in part by the Ottawa County Sheriff's deputies that work in this area, the Sergeant Jason Kick. Got a drone heading up behind me. Kids watching the drone. Okay, somebody's asking where it's going again. The house is going to the corner of Division and Exchange Street, so it's going to go down here a few more blocks. If you know where the Fuel Bar and Refuge is, that's where Division Street is. That used to be Chan's restaurant. And before that, for some of you old timers, it was a gas station. I'm not sure which one. So that's where it's going to turn. Division Street by Fuel. Used to be Bill's. Or not Bill's. The plumbing place. And the swimming pool place. It's turning at that corner. And then Isabel's house, which has a counseling center in it. A refurbished Victorian mansion sits next to that. And this house, the Lilly house, will sit next to Isabel's house. It'll be on the corner of Exchange and Division, and it will be a bed and breakfast. It will be overlooking the Grand River across the street from Tanglefoot Park. So you can see it's moving by Harvest Bible Church. Yeah, we got people parked in cars, we got people in lawn chairs. Be going by Seitzma Funeral Home, former VBK Funeral Home soon.
When I get to it, I've got this video right now.
Off the grass into the sidewalk, please.
I don't want them to.
Alright, come back. I'm gonna let you stare at it for a minute. I got it.
working.
My job's to keep an eye on the drill.
Left the grass, please.
See people at the church parking lot. And then we're getting over here by Spring Lake District Library. Big crowd. Everybody's, oh, it's hard to see, but the street is pretty packed back there. It's like Coast Guard Festival.
You having fun?
Oh yeah. It is.
Snail space.
All right.
That way.
There's Jason Helmer, local photographer, Supreme. Hey, Jason. Just gave you a big shout out. I just gave you a big shout out on live. Yep, there goes. You can see the exhaust coming out of that truck when they're ready to move some more. Trying to get the people pushed back. People need to get behind the sidewalk, not on the sidewalk. Little birdies.
Off the grass, onto the sidewalk.
Again, we passed Harvest Church. Approaching Seitzma Funeral Home, which used to be Van Zantwick's funeral home in Spring Lake. You're trying to figure out where we are. We're closing in on the Spring Lake Library. Lots of people following along, lots of people waiting for us down the street.
Left the grass into the sidewalk, please. Left the grass into the sidewalk, please.
I can see it. Nope, I'm not leaving. Okay.
There are little things like, maybe it shouldn't be little things, but they've got, they have to pay attention to the manhole covers for little bumps in the road. When the sun goes down enough, I might be able to show you the crowd from the opposite direction.
Left the grass, please. Left the grass.
We are moving slowly. I'm going to turn around again. We've got crews on the, that move up ahead. And again, off in the distance up here. Now that the sun's going down a little bit, you can see what's going on downtown Spring Lake. There's a lot of people there. A lot of people waiting. You can see the semi-truck in the background. They're trying to get around the detour. All right, sorry about bouncing around here, folks. Trying to get turned around. We are up to Church Street. We are on M104 at Church Street. By the Spring Lake District Library. Yeah. TV's okay.
You what?
I said TV's okay.
You think?
I'm doing live for Grand Haven Tribune. I'm live for Grand Haven Tribune. It's a live broadcast. Right. Again, this is Becky Vargo for the Grand Haven Tribune. We're live in the village of Spring Lake reporting on the moving of the historic Lilly Mansion. This was owned by Francis Lilly, a lumber baron, built in the 1870s, along with the house next door, the Sisson Mansion, which has been remodeled and is for sale. This one's going to division and exchange, and it's going to be a bed and breakfast overlooking the Grand River across from Tanglefoot Park. As you can see, I'm having to keep moving here. They are coming right along. Crowd is starting to move a little bit with them. A lot of crowd waiting behind me. Yes, they're saying the really interesting part's going to be when they get down to the corner where they're going to turn. That's where there's going to be a really big crowd.
Back to press, please. Back to grass into the sidewalk, please.
You can see the Spring Lake District Library off to the right. So we've come a couple blocks anyway. It's taken a while, but ever since I got straightened out on M104, they've been moving right along. Yes, turn around here a little bit so you can see where we're approaching the intersection. Oh, look at people on the Village Hall roof. Township and Village Hall roof, I guess. Got to get up here where the I did see a musician setting up somewhere too, down by the fuel. You can see when the house gets up here, I believe they're going to move this tape and kick everybody off the street. Kind of see got consumers here. Must be they're waiting for the last minute to get these lines. The house is moving because it's been sitting there empty for a long time. And a local entrepreneur who is doing a lot of new building and renovations to old unused buildings in the village of Spring Lake bought the building, and the new owners, actually, we were interviewed earlier, if you can find it, earlier in this broadcast. They're pretty excited about making it into a bed and breakfast. I don't know who's on the roof of the village hall. Maybe that's something I should have done or could do. See, the utility trucks are ready. We still have some wires here that I'm guessing they're going to be moving soon. In the meantime, this is why we're here. Watching the house come down the street.
Off the ground, use the sidewalk, please. Off the ground, use the sidewalk, please. Stand at the wall, please.
Okay, somebody's got to tell me what's happening with these wires here.
He's the boss.
Can you
Thanks.
can you tell me what's going on here at this intersection?
Are you with the media?
Grand Haven Tribune.
The Grand Haven Tribune? I'd rather not. I'd like to put you with one of our media folks.
Okay. Are they here?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Sorry, we're told not to talk to them.
Alrighty. Anyway, no official media folks here to talk to see what consumers doing. They are going up in the bucket here. I don't know if they're disconnecting wires. I don't know if they're raising them or disconnecting them. You can see the Lilly house, the historic mansion coming down the street behind them. There's another bucket over there. Looks like he's
seen houses move before, but not quite this big.
no kidding.
Not down the main street. It's kind of funny, though.
It is interesting. Looks like they're lifting the wires instead of taking them down. Got a guy. Is that one of our local firefighters up there? Or used to be in the bucket on the right? We are approaching downtown. The downtown area. You can see the Spring Lake Village Hall on the right. There's township offices in there too, by the way. There you have Chase Bank on the left. Guys up, the consumers guys are lifting the wires, it looks like. This is going to be interesting. Watching them come through town here. See that drone right in front of me? I think TV8 is taking some video here too. I'm going to do a quick turnaround so you can see. Oops, they pushed everybody way back. People are way back now. This is the Van Camping construction site. The Epicurean Village going there. And the same lady purchased this and then arranged for the sale for these gentlemen who are going to make it a bed and breakfast. You can see them lifting. Consumers Energy in the bucket trucks, lifting the wires up, 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 over so the house can get under.
Picture would be if they caught a wire and it snapped in the air. That would be.
All right, going under the wire. Looks like they're high enough. There's people up on top of the Spring Lake Village Hall. Quite the vantage point.
Head the street to the sidewalk. Up the street to the sidewalk, please.
You can tell the lighting is changing as the sun's setting here. We are downtown Spring Lake. The village of Spring Lake's not that big. We still have a couple blocks to go before the turn. They have made it under those wires next to the Spring Lake Village Hall. The wires and the traffic light have already been moved at the next intersection. I'm going to turn around here for a second and get the crowd this way.
On the sidewalk.
Oh, there's the traffic lights on the ground. That's interesting. They look awfully big on the ground, don't they? Did you ever wonder about that? Look at the size of those things. All right, here we go again.
Off the street into the sidewalk, please. On the sidewalk.
Thanks, Shar. I know where it is. I just have to get back to my bicycle, that is. All right, I just passed the intersection of Jackson and M104, or Savage Street.
They're okay. They're okay.
See, we're on the corner of Voice Chiropractic and Core Computers and the Love and Action store. People are having fun posing in front of these traffic lights that are on the ground.
Is this bigger than Coast Guard Festival?
Yeah, the question is this bigger than Coast Guard Festival? I suppose those trucks are parked far enough back there. So the power company, Consumers Energy, and the other trucks are all here to take care of all the wires and get this house moved down the street. I'm still amazed at how big those traffic lights are. Can you imagine those things swinging around in the wind? We still have a couple blocks to go here, folks. The crowd keeps backing up. I can hear music behind us. There must be some entertainment. So, you see the people behind me, kind of off to the left over there, is the Fuel Bar and Refuge. This is the corner we're going to be turning on pretty soon. So we have another block, and then it looks like the big turn. Oh, look where we are. I think the bar crowd should be coming out any minute here.
Sorry, we're totally taking.
Oops, sorry. Every time I take
Understand, use the sidewalk, please.
Right. Mansion's crossing Jackson Street.
Off the street is the sidewalk.
Looks like the bar crowd's coming out. So they asked me to get some still shots of the building going by the first two buildings right there past the clock tower. Hear the music in the back. Got a party going on behind us. Right now you can hear the music. We're almost to the Fuel Bar. This is where they're having the fundraiser for Art in the Park for Spring Lake. That's but organized by the owners of this house that are making it a bed and breakfast. And this is a little bit of so this is the corner. See, there's it's a beautiful night to be out here in Spring Lake and watch a house move down the main highway going into Grand Haven. See the sun setting. a corner where the house is going to turn. That's Isabel's house right there. And just beyond it is where they tore down a couple smaller houses where the house is going to sit. And then in the background, there's a bunch of cars parked there. There's Tanglefoot Park where there's usually campers. So this is the street where we're going to turn. You can see we're moving right along here. Everybody wants to see a house move past Dan's bar, I guess. Again, they are approaching the end of this straightaway.
Off the street to the sidewalk, please.
Shortly, they will be making the turn around the fuel bar where there's a fundraiser for Art in the Park. They're going to go down here. And there's the Isabel house right there, the big Victorian. This house is going to go next to it, between Isabel's house and Exchange Street. And then in the background is the Grand River. Okay. So this house is nearing its turn corner. Its corner. Eating the village. Yeah. The village of Spring Lake asked for those pictures.
Yeah.
Quite good, so that's why
I'll send them all to you.
Oh. Mary, yeah.
This way, with that Georgia? Yeah.
Who took it? This is Jason.
Hi.
Just taking some pictures for us.
Yeah, so if you just stand like right over here, yeah, just stand right there.
Just looking at the house.
Everybody getting ready. Go at his house in the corner. Some people have the best seats here. Again, there's a fundraising party going on here at the Fuel Bar and Refuge for Spring Lake's Art in the Park. This is the corner where they're going to turn. Push back a little bit here.
Hello there. How are you guys?
I'm just trying to get the whole house.
Yes, be my guest. This is real.
Gotta go back farther. My lens is too long. Here we go. Getting ready to turn the corner.
Get way back.
It's been a very long, short
Corner,
journey.
gotta get way back.
They are coming around the corner from M104 or Savage Street onto Division Street. This is the big turn. This could take a little bit. There might be some adjustments they have to make this corner. Turning off M104 in Spring Lake onto Division Street. They're 1 block away from home here. This is going to be the hard part. Yeah. Might take them a little bit of time to get around here.
I'm not who you think I am. But that's okay. I'll answer anything. You look like a funny.
Too close for this lens. So I got other people here.
Who are you with?
Grand Haven Tribune.
Oh, yeah?
Live. You know, Facebook Live.
Cool. My great-grandparents looked out their window and used to look at that house
Oh, really?
150 years ago.
Where did your great-grandparents live?
Right on the corner of Prospect and Main Road.
The new owner of the Lilly Mansion that's being moved is yelling at the Nautas on the Isabel house, saying, "Can't wait to be neighbors." They are just about all the way around the corner here. Okay, this is Isabel's house. This is the empty lot. This is where the house is going. Right here on the corner of Exchange and Division. You see a lot of people. You're gonna have a view of the Grand River over there, Tanglefoot Park, the campground across the street. Not sure if they're going to go right on the property or not. At the very least, they're going to bring the house down to the access point to the property right here. So they're almost there, folks. Just a little bit farther. Tiny little tree there on the right. They're being very careful. They tried hard not to trim too many trees, but they had to trim some.
It's beautiful. That house is just amazing.
Just for that, we're going to try to put a rope on it first.
A lot of communications going on between the people, discussing what the next steps are. Some of their crew is putting up a light bar on the construction site. Again, this is where it's going. We're at the corner of Division and Exchange Streets in Spring Lake. Exchange parallels M104, or as it's known, Savage Street. Yeah, I've been doing the whole thing.
I saw you down earlier, but also she said, when I turned around and you were standing right there, I'm like, yeah, no, I was only going to stay for a while.
By St. Mary's. I was going to ride, but... Oh, you can see up there on my left, there's a small tree. I don't know if the bay window area sticks out too far. I don't know if what they're gonna do with that little tree, or if they're considering some other things here. Not sure. A lot of people walking around checking it out. Crew's over here discussing the next steps. I believe that might be, I don't know if that's Dan Dietz right there. The boards. Got a little bit of a curve there.
We might get 4 pages this week.
Might even get 8.
Glad to have it.
These two beautiful houses are going to be neighbors. Isabel's house is, I believe, Nada's, has a counseling center in it. The house on the road, the Lilly Mansion, is going to be moved onto this lot where they tore down two small houses. We are on the corner of Exchange and Division. And here goes the tree. Oops, I missed it. Little tree just came down. Too bad for the tree. That's a shame, but it's even carrying it off the road there. It's a very small tree. I'm sure the owners will replace it. They want to be good neighbors. Here. It's a tree they just cut down up by the house. They couldn't move forward with that little tree blocking the bay room areas. A bunch of boards on the road, giving them a place to bring the house. Maybe start angling it up onto that drive. Tree crews cutting up those branches behind me. They had to cut that little tree down. It was completely blocking access where that bay area is on the left side of the house, our left, the way you're looking at the house. We're on Division Street between Savage, which is on 104, and Exchange Street. This house move started about 7:30 on the nose. They were right on it. It's moved down from its location almost to there's a little development called Alden Place, so it was sitting kind of enveloped by Alden Place, by Alden Street, kind of kitty corner from St. Mary's Church. St. Mary's Church a little bit farther to the east. So the house has moved from there to here, and it looks like they just took down a small tree in front of Isabel's place, and they are putting some boards down to help maybe angle. I'm not sure exactly what the plan is here. Looks like the house is moving.
Good shot. Oh yeah, he's there often. Yeah. That's hard. Yeah, the band's clear.
They're going past the tree on the right side. Moving very slow. It's still moving.
Are they badgering it in here? Yeah. Or they're just I thought they were going to back into it. Gary! Gary! How are they going to get it? Just like this. How are they going to get it? You've got a lot to do. I don't want to stand on there.
I gave up. You told me you didn't you tell me that you had full medical. Oh,
I've never seen that.
Okay, we're going to turn around for just a minute here so I can reposition. Go to the back of the lot. Still quite a few people out here. We've just been going on for a couple hours. A lot of people. Exchange Street, this is where the traffic's been rerouted.
It's like me.
Today you will die, old foe. Oh, it's so cute.
You're with Facebook Live, right? I was joking, saying you're with Facebook Live, right? Well, hi.
What's up, Kirk?
Congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I know. I had sunglasses and the pills also. I can sort of see.
If they come.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for them to come onto the lot where the house is going to sit. As you can see, there's no foundation here. They just have some sort of a gravel base to drive on. But they're going to have to take this very slow, balance it all out so they can make the turn and come up here. This move started at 7:30. It's taken a while to get down. Once they got straightened out on M104, they made pretty good progress. So they had to pull up some heavy-duty wires by the Spring Lake Village Hall. They made it around the corner here actually pretty quickly, pretty efficiently. Now the hard part, the last hard part, is actually getting it onto this lot. They did say there's a chance that they might not put it on the lot. They could leave it in the road for the night. I'm not sure exactly what the plan is here, if they're going to try to get her on there tonight. I love it. Melanie Swiftney is saying this is way more exciting than it should be. It is. I was planning only to do a portion of this. I was going to do the beginning and the end, and I've been out here for the whole thing. Some of it's been very slow, but if you look and see what these guys are doing, they've been under the house, they've been adjusting things, they've been changing balances, they've been putting boards out where they need to, right here. A lot of discussion, a lot of measuring, a lot of looking, and double checking, triple checking. post just came out of the ground. So all the crew here has walked behind the house. Nothing's happening in front of the house except for the guy in the orange. He's with the moving company. The moon is out, but it's behind me. I wish the moon was out behind this house. That would be very cool. Once this house gets on this lot, you can kind of see a little orange glow in the sky off to the west from the sunset. And behind me is the Grand River. A lot of people parked in Tanglefoot Park, which is was a campground until they redid infrastructure in the street, putting the new pipeline across the river. Still a lot of people out here waiting to see what's going to be the last bit of what's going on here. They're back. I swear I smell caramel corn. It smells really good. It is party atmosphere out here. People are very curious. People are sticking by. They want to see this last little bit of move here. Could almost use an MC letting us know what the crew's thinking. Did they make a decision? Is something going to happen? Gloves are back on. We are at the tail end of this move here. The last bit is just to get it onto this lot right here. Not sure what's going to happen. A lot of talking, a lot of looking. They did say there's a chance the house might stay on the street for the night. They did put some boards down. Still walking around, still looking, still talking. Maybe there's some adjustments going on in the back that we're not seeing from this side. You can see there's still a lot of people in the street over there. All the crews walked away behind the house again. Don't know what they're doing. There he goes. There's the main man again. Where's he going?
What's that?
Maybe they brought more boards. I wonder if that's what they were waiting for. There's a truck with more boards. activity. They are putting more boards down. I'm guessing they had to go retrieve the boards from where the start point. Yep. Did you see that? Little exhaust coming out of the pipes on the truck. See him signaling up there. This is it, folks. They are moving onto the lot. That's it, folks. It looks like that's where it's going to sit for now. People are cheering them. It was a heck of a move. They are on the lot. They are either adjusting or they are where they're going to be for the time being.
by the roadway for responders. We have migrant camp location 31 and 2132.
This one to Grand Valley. Last year you said, right?
No, maybe they're gonna move again. Here we go. They weren't done. I'm gonna move over to the lighted up side of the house. Excuse me. As you can see, pulled up on the lot, people were just cheering. I just walked around to the side so you could see they're still underneath, still doing some adjustments. It's like they're putting some blacks under to hold the wheels. My guess is that we're about wrapped up here, folks.
I guess the kids don't enjoy watching it. That's a really neat picture with the light on it.
Are you everywhere?
I'm everywhere.
I'm gonna get you a drone.
All right, this is Becky Vargo from the Grand Haven Tribune. We've been following the moving of the Lilly Mansion from about a mile, well, maybe not even a mile, down M104 over to the corner of Division and Exchange Street. People cheered them on. Big crowd watched the whole move. I love the job. This is going to become a bed and breakfast, just part of all the exciting developments going on in Spring Lake. Again, Becky Vargo from the Grand Haven Tribune. Thanks for watching, and good night.